Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to YouTube live class NCRT exam preparation for mathematics subject. So this playlist is an attempt to help all the students who are preparing for their upcoming board exams for CBSE 10th standard and also 12th standard. So we have separate playlist for CBSE 10 and CBSE 12. So this is our first video, YouTube live video, and we had experienced few issues, therefore we are premiering the video live. Okay, in today's in today's live class, we are going to learn polynomials and quadratic equations. So basically for your exam, certain topics are excluded, certain topics are removed. Under polynomials you don't have division algorithm, and in quadratic equations you don't have situational problems of quadratic equations related to which can be reduced to quadratic equations. So that is not there. Apart from that, all the other topics are there, and we are going to discuss all the topics that are important for exam. So I am not going to give the typical textbook definitions. I am going to give you the meaning of each and every result, and so that you can easily understand and you can easily remember also. And we will be solving the questions that are appearing in the previous year's question papers. So in this video you will be learning polynomials. So basically under algebra you have these four topics in your syllabus. So you have polynomials, and then you have linear equations in two variables, that is another chapter, and then you have quadratic equations, and arithmetic progression. In this video, we will try to cover polynomials and quadratic equations concepts with few problems. After the video, you can join our WhatsApp group if you are not yet part of our WhatsApp group. You can refer the link that is present in the description. Click on the link to join our free WhatsApp group, in which we will be sharing notes for the upcoming examination. So we will share the notes of polynomials and quadratic equation chapter with important practice questions as well. And we suggest you to practice all those questions based on the concepts that we are going to cover in this class. And we were going to have one more session wherein we will solve all the questions from previous year's exam papers from these two chapters. So basically algebra carries 20 marks, and we will be covering these two, polynomials and quadratic equations, in this class. In next class we will see how to solve a linear equation in two variables and arithmetic progressions, and we will also cover a lot of questions with solutions. So now let's get started. So what is a polynomial? So what is a polynomial? A polynomial is a mathematical expression, or we can say it is an algebraic expression with single variable. Algebraic expression with one variable is called as a polynomial. And we will have many terms in the polynomial. We will have multiple terms. In each term you will have a variable, and that will be raised to some power. So the degree, we say something called as degree of a polynomial. So degree of a polynomial is the highest power of the variable in that expression. So that defines the degree. So based on degree, the solution of the polynomials varies. So we will see various types of equations. And what is an equation? If we equate a polynomial to 0, that is called as an equation. So what is polynomial? It is an algebraic expression with one variable. When I equate that variable, when I equate that expression to 0, it is called as an equation. So basically, if you are learning polynomials, you will be able to learn how to solve quadratic equations also. So that is the reason I have chosen these two topics, so that when you are solving them simultaneously, you can learn both the chapters. So that is the effort that we are going to that is our effort. Okay, so here that's what we are going to try to do. We will be learning polynomials and quadratic equations side by side. Okay, so right now we will see what are types of polynomials and what is basically first degree of a polynomial. So degree of a polynomial is the highest power of the variable. Highest power of the variable is called degree of the polynomial. Okay, so I will give you examples of polynomials. 3x plus 5 is a polynomial wherein we have, what is the variable in this polynomial? X. We can have 4y square plus 3y plus 8. So this is a polynomial and here the variable in this polynomial is y. We can have something like 3k cube plus 5k square minus 9k plus 10. So this is also a polynomial wherein the variable in this polynomial is the variable k. So these are various examples of polynomials. Here, what is degree? It is the highest power of the variable in the polynomial. Here, what is the highest power? So you have 3x, that is the only term with the variable and its power is 1. So degree here is 1. So in this equation, I have two terms with variable y. So in this term, if it is a constant, it is basically, it means we have y power 0. So here basically we have x power 0 and this is k power 0. So that is the meaning when you don't have any variable in a term. If you have just a constant, it means there is a variable whose power is 0. You know that any variable raised to power 0 is 1. So this x raised to power 0 is also 1. Okay, so here we have two terms and the highest power is 1, therefore the degree is 1. In this second example, what is the highest power? 2. Therefore, degree of this polynomial is 2 and here the highest power is 3. So, we write the degree of this polynomial as 3. So, what is the type of the polynomial? So, types of polynomials are classified based on the number of degree or based on the degree of the polynomial. So, if degree is 1, then we call it as a linear polynomial. If the degree is 2, it's called as a quadratic polynomial. And if the degree is 3, it's called as a cubic polynomial. Similarly, if you have degree 4, then that is called as a biquadratic polynomial. Please note down this. These are types of polynomials. So this might be a question for your MCQ. So what are the types? We have 4 types of polynomials. In one way, what is a polynomial? It's an algebraic expression in one variable. What are the types? We have 4 types: linear, quadratic, cubic and biquadratic. What is the basis for this division or what is the basis for this classification? It is the degree of the polynomial. If degree is 1, it is linear polynomial. If degree is 2, it is quadratic polynomial. Since I told you, if this polynomial is equated to 0, then it is called as an equation. So, this linear polynomial 3x plus 5, this is a linear polynomial. When I equate it to 0, it becomes a linear equation. Okay, so linear equation. And then if this is the second example that we have, 4y square plus 3y plus 8. So this is the quadratic polynomial. When I equate it to 0, this becomes the quadratic equation. Hope you understood. It's quite simple. So similarly, this cubic polynomial, if you equate it to 0, it becomes a cubic equation. Now in your syllabus, what all you have how to solve this polynomials and you have quadratic equations. Linear equation you have in 2 variables, which we are going to learn in our next class. In this class, we will see polynomials, how to solve them, and then what are zeros of polynomials, different types of questions that comes under that, and similarities between the questions under polynomials and quadratic equations, so that simultaneously you can learn both. Okay. Okay, right. So let us continue with our next topic, that is zeros of a polynomial. What is zeros of a polynomial? It is the value of the variable for which, again I am repeating, I am not giving you the typical textbook definitions, I am giving you statements which you can understand easily. So what is zero of a polynomial? It is the values of the variable that is present in the polynomial, so that values of the variable for which the polynomial becomes zero. Becomes zero. The same thing is also called as roots of a quadratic equation. Roots of an equation basically. Okay, so if you say it as a polynomial, then the value of the variable for which it becomes zero, we call that as zero of the polynomial. If I initially take it as an equation, then it is called root of an equation. So we have seen what is a type of polynomial, we have seen what is degree of a polynomial. So next we will see what is zero of a polynomial. So this is zero of a polynomial, we'll see how to find it. So we have seen different examples, right? What was our first example? 3x plus 5. This is a linear polynomial. How to find the zero of this polynomial? First equate it to 0. Okay. Step 1. Equate polynomial to 0 and solve. So basically 3x plus 5 equals to 0. Now what is step 2? Solve for the unknown variable. So here the variable is x, so solve for x. Means keep only x in the LHS, everything else you shift it to RHS. So 3x equals to 5 goes to RHS, it becomes minus 5 and x is equal to minus 5 by 3. So this is 0 of the polynomial. Hope you understood this. It's quite simple. The same thing is equation. So here it is polynomial. If we give 3x plus 5 equals to 0 as the equation, question itself is 3x plus 5 equals to 0, then it is linear equation. Then we write x equals to minus 5 by 3 and this is called as root of the given equation, root of the linear equation. Okay, so basically 0 of the polynomial and root of the equation are one and the same. Okay, so it is this is the process of finding what is the value of this variable so that the entire polynomial's value becomes 0. Okay, so that is 0 of a polynomial. So now this is for linear polynomial. So in case of quadratic polynomial, to find what are the zeros of quadratic polynomial, we have two ways. So one is you have factorization method and we also have formula method. So these are the two methods to find zeros of a polynomial and we will see how to find. So we have already done with step 1. Okay, so we have already seen how to find zero of a linear polynomial. So next we will find how to find zeros of quadratic polynomial. Zeros of quadratic polynomial, which is basically same as roots of a quadratic equation. So I think you know why we have chosen these two topics, because the topic that you learn under polynomial is exactly same what you learn under quadratic equation wherever the polynomial is of power 2. Okay, so now to find the zeros of a quadratic polynomial or to find roots of a quadratic equation, we have two methods. So the first method is factorization method and the second method is the formula method. So factorization method and the formula method are the two ways to find the roots of a quadratic equation, or you can say the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. So now what is basically a quadratic polynomial is, so the general form of a quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Okay, so this is the this is a standard polynomial. Okay, it's the standard quadratic polynomial, and this is the general form. As I have told you before, if you just write ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then it is going to be a polynomial. If you write it as equal to 0, it is going to be root. But whatever it is, the procedure to find the 0 of the polynomial or root of the equation is same. So in factorization method, what we do is we multiply a and c. Okay, so step 1 is multiply a and c. Okay, and then step 2 is choose two numbers, or we call the numbers as factors. Choose factors such that the product is equal to AC and sum should be equal to B. So we have to choose two factors such that the product is going to be AC and the sum should be equal to B. So that is how we choose the two factors. After that, we split the given polynomial, split the middle term, and decompose them into factors. Okay, split the middle term and consider the common factors. So take common factors and then equate the common factors, equate the factors to 0 and find the values. Equate the factors to 0 and get the value of the variable. So these values, you will call them as zeros if it is a polynomial, and you will call it as a root if it is a equation. Okay, so let us see one example for this. So we have x, let us take an example, x square plus 7x plus 10 equals to 0. Okay, so x square plus 7x plus 10 equals to 0 is a quadratic equation. If it is just x square plus 7x plus 10, if it's just given like this, then it is a quadratic polynomial. So this is a quadratic polynomial, and after equating it to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. So you know this difference by now, and even if they have given quadratic polynomial, the first step is writing it as equal to 0 and converting it to quadratic equation to find the zeros. So now let's solve this. To solve this, we need to first multiply a and c. Here we will mark which is a and c. So coefficient of x square, if nothing is there, then it is 1. So this is a, this is b, and this is c. So we should consider with signs. So if you have a positive or negative sign, according to sign, you have to consider the coefficients. In this example, we have all positive numbers. So what is A? A is 1, B is 7, and C is 10. So what is step 1? We need to multiply A and C, right? A and C we need to multiply, which is 1 into 10 equals to 10. So what is step 2? We need to choose two numbers such that when I multiply, I should get 10, and when I add them, I should get this middle number 7. So I will write 2 and 5. So 2 and 5, when I multiply, I'll get 10, and when I add, I'll get 7, which is the middle number. Basically, we write like this: 1 into 10 is 10. We split the numbers like this, 2 and 5. So when we multiply, we get 10, and when we add, we get 7. So there is a rule for choosing the factors. We will discuss that in our next video. in which we have certain rules on we have certain tips also. I'll give you some tips on how to factorize the numbers. Right now we will see more examples for you to understand this clearly. So we have chosen the factors right now. So next we have to split the middle number using this factors. So this is our equation 1, mark it as equation 1. Now step 3 is where we can split this equation using this factors. So first term is going to be x square. 7x I will write it as 2x plus 5x. And then we have 10 equals to 0. Now take common factors in this and in this. So x is a common factor here, so we can write it as x plus 2 plus here 5 is the common factor, we can write it as x plus 2 again equals to 0. Now if you observe, x plus 2 is common in these two again, so take x plus 2 as common factor. After taking x plus 2 in this product, you are left out with x plus here you are left out with 5. So we have split the middle terms and we have written the factors. So what is step 4? Equate these factors to 0 and get the value of x. So x plus 2 is 0 or x plus 5 should be 0. See, if you have product of two numbers which is equal to 0, then at least one of them must be 0, right? So x plus 2 should be 0 or x plus 5 should be 0. Only then the product becomes 0. So if x plus 2 should be 0, what should be value of x? Minus 2. Or if x plus 5 should be 0, value of x should be minus 5. So basically, for the given polynomial x square plus 7x plus 10, if the value of x is minus 2 or minus 5, the entire polynomial's value becomes 0. Therefore, what are zeros of this polynomial? Minus 2 and minus 5. Similarly, if they ask you what is roots of this quadratic equation, the roots are minus 2 and minus 5. So what are roots of a quadratic equation? It is that value of the variable for which the equation becomes 0. So let me give you another example or an explanation with geometric meaning. So which is also part of your explanation. You don't need it for exam, but you need it for understanding. See, if we write, all of you, I think you have already plotted graphs for these equations. So if I write 3x plus 6, okay, 3x plus 6 as a polynomial, and if I write this polynomial as y, then when x is equal to 1, what is value of y? You will get 3 into 1 plus 6, which is 9. When x is equal to 2, I will write minus 6 here so that we get smaller values. 3 minus 6, you get minus 3. When x is equal to 2, I will not write, okay, fine. So y is equal to 3 into 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is going to be 0. When x is 3, y is plus 3. When x is 4, y is 3 into 4, 12 minus 6 is 6. Okay. So if we plot this as points, 1 comma minus 3. So where is 1 comma minus 3? So 4, and let me take this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some more, no. I'll write a big line. So this is 5, 6, and here I have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, okay. Now, when x is 1, value of y is minus 3. So, x is 1, y is minus 3, this point. And when x is 2, y is 0, which is this point. When x is, this is 2 comma 0, this is 1 comma minus 3. When x is 3, y is 3, which is going to be this point, which is 3 comma 3. And then when x is 4, it's y is 6, which is 4 comma 6. Okay, so if we plot this as a line, you see this line crosses x-axis at this point. Therefore, this is called as the zero of the polynomial or the root of the equation. So for different values of x, we get different values of y. So this is called value of the polynomial. Understood? For various values of x, we are getting different values for y. So these different values of y is called value of the polynomial, or these are the values of polynomials at different values of the variable. In this, which do you call 0 of the polynomial? This one. This is called 0 of the polynomial because when x is 2, y is 0. Okay, x equals to 1, x equals to 3, these are all not 0 of the polynomial, or in other words, they are not roots of the equation. Okay, so the function or the value has, the polynomial has various values depending on value of the variable. If the value of the polynomial becomes 0, then that value of the variable is called as 0 of the polynomial or root of the equation. So here what is 0 of the polynomial? X equals to 2. This is geometric meaning of the polynomial. Hope you understood this. Now this is the procedure to find the roots of the quadratic equation or zeros of the quadratic polynomial. And the other method is formula method. Under formula method, we write x equals to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this method you can use for all types of quadratic equations. Remember, it is only for quadratic equations, that is if the highest power is 2, that is if the degree of the polynomial is 2, you can use this method, and you can use this for all types of quadratic equations, whereas factorization can be used only for certain equations where factorization is possible. Say for example, if in the same equation, if you had x square plus 7x plus 11, then factors of 11 are only 1 and 11, isn't it? And you will not be able to factor, you will not be able to factor them. That is, you will not be able to find two numbers like this such that when you multiply you get 11 and when you add you get 7. There are no such numbers. So for those equations or for those polynomials where factorization is not possible, we will be using formula method. But even for the equations where factorization is possible, we can still use formula method. So let me show you the same example using formula method. So our example problem was x square plus 7x plus 10 equals to 0. So we have already written a is 1, b is 7 and c is 10. So using formula method, it is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So minus 7 plus or minus root of b square is 7 square, which is 49, minus 4 into a into c. So 4 into 1 is 4, into c is 10, 40. Okay, 40 divided by 2 into a is 1, so it's going to be 2. So we get minus 7 plus or minus root of 49 minus 40 is 9 divided by 2. So minus 7 plus or minus square root of 9 is 3 divided by 2. Now we have two solutions, that is minus 7 plus 3 by 2 or minus 7 minus 3 by 2. Why we have two solutions? Because square root of 9 can be plus 3 or minus 3. That is the reason we have written plus or minus here. So with plus 3 we get one answer, with minus 3 we get another answer. So minus 7 plus 3 is minus 4, minus 4 by 2 is minus 2, or minus 7 minus 3 is minus 10, minus 10 by 2 is minus 5. So these are zeros of the polynomial or the roots of the equation. Okay, so if you see minus 2 and minus 5 are the answers that we got earlier also. Whether you use factorization or the formula, you are going to get the same answer. But factorization is not possible for all equations. Formula can be used for all the equations. I'm talking about quadratic polynomials and quadratic equations only. Okay. So these are roots of the equation or zeros of the polynomial. And one more thing that you need to know is, note, number of roots of an equation or number of zeros of the polynomial is equal to degree of the equation or the polynomial. So for equation also we have degree, which is nothing but the highest power. Okay. So degree of the equation or the polynomial. So if for a linear polynomial we will have one answer. For quadratic polynomial we will have two answers. So if you observe, earlier we had solved a linear polynomial. Here the highest power is 1 and we had only one answer, only one value for which this polynomial was 0. And this is a quadratic polynomial because the highest power is 2 and hence we have two answers. Means for both these values the polynomial becomes 0. Okay. So this is roots of equation or zeros of a polynomial. Next we will see what are the relation between the roots of the equation. Again same thing is applicable for zeros of the polynomials also. So there is a relation between roots of the equation or zeros of the polynomial and coefficients of the equation. What are coefficients? That ABC are called as coefficients. Okay. Coefficients of the polynomial or equation, anything. So here again we are going to learn all the three: linear, quadratic and cubic. In that, whatever we learn under quadratic is going to be the same thing for quadratic equations also. Okay. So the first one is linear polynomials. Okay. Under linear polynomials, what is the linear polynomial? Ax plus b, right? It is of the form ax plus b. So here we have only one root, that is we have only one zero we can say, and that is equal to minus b by a. Okay. So 0 of the polynomial, let us say 0 of the polynomial is x in this case, which is equal to minus b by a. Okay. This is also called root of the linear equation. You don't have roots of linear equation. You have to only write 0 of a linear polynomial, which is minus b by a. And then we have for quadratic polynomials, we will have two roots or two zeros. Okay. So there will be two zeros and let us assume we have alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial or roots of the equation. Now if these two are zeros of the polynomial, then the relation between these values and the coefficients of the equation is, so sum is equal to alpha plus beta, which is equal to minus b by a, and product of the roots or product of the zeros is alpha into beta, which is equal to c by a. Hope it is clear. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a. Alpha into beta is c by a. What are this alpha and beta? These are the zeros of the equation, zeros of the polynomial, means the required answers. And what is this ABC? These are coefficients in the polynomial. So your polynomial is going to be ax square plus bx plus c. Okay. So this ABC are coefficients in the polynomial. So this is for quadratic polynomials, and then we have cubic polynomials. So in cubic polynomials, the highest power is 3. So means the degree is 3. So the format of the polynomial is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. If it is not in this order, you have to arrange them in this order. It should always be in the decreasing order of powers of the variable. So here let us assume alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros. So here we have three answers, right? Because the degree is 3, we will have three answers. So alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of the polynomials. Then the first one, the results between roots and coefficients is sum of all the roots. Okay, sum of all the roots is equal to alpha plus beta plus gamma, which is equal to minus b by a. And then we have another relation, which is sum of products of two zeros at a time, which is alpha beta plus beta into gamma plus alpha into gamma. This is equal to c by a, and product of all three roots or all three zeros is equal to minus d by a. These are the relation between the sum and product of the zeros or the roots and the coefficients. You don't have quadratic equations, you don't have cubic equations, you just have cubic polynomials. So these are the results between, or these are the relation between zeros and the coefficients. Hope this is clear now. If equations are given, if you have to find the zeros, this is alternative way of finding zeros. Now how to use this zeros of a polynomial to solve questions and find this relation between the zeros and the coefficients. So how the questions will be asked under this is, so they are going to give you find the cubic, so they'll give you roots and they'll give you the zeros and you're supposed to find the polynomial. So the types of questions will be zeros will be given, okay, using the zeros find the polynomial, okay. This is one type of question. Or polynomial will be given and one of the zeros will be given, okay. Polynomial and one of the zeros will be given. You will have to find the other zero. These are the types of questions that you can expect from this particular relation between zeros and the coefficients. Say for example, there is one of the questions. So the question is find quadratic polynomial. So I'll just take one example. So find the quadratic polynomial where sum and product of zeros are minus 3 and 2. Okay, sum and product of zeros are minus 3 and 2. Find the quadratic polynomial. So this is one very frequently asked question. So you know that sum is minus 3, which is basically minus b by a, and product is 2, right? So we have another result, which is if zeros are given and how to find, or if sum or product is given, how to find the polynomial. That is your first method. Zeros will be given, you need to find the polynomial. For this method, we have a result, which is the equation is of the form x square minus, it's always minus, sum of the zeros into x plus product of the zeros. This is the polynomial. Now x square minus, what is sum? It's minus 3x plus product is 2. So the answer is x square plus 3x plus 2 is the required quadratic polynomial. Okay, so this is one type of question that will be asked using this results you will be able to solve, and this is one important result that you might note. This is when they give you zeros of a quadratic polynomial, you will be able to find the polynomial using this result, this formula. So you have to use x square minus sum of the zeros into x plus product of the zeros. In this particular question, they have directly given the sum and product. Sometimes they will give the zeros as say -2 and -5 are zeros. Find the polynomial. In that case, you have to write x square minus sum of the polynomials, which is -2 -5 into x, plus product of the polynomial, which is -2 into -5. Now this is what -2 -5 is -7 into minus is plus 7x plus 10. This was our example problem that we had considered earlier. So these are the types of questions that comes under this given result. So basically these are the topics that you have to learn under polynomials, which are same with reference to quadratic equations chapter also. And in quadratic equations chapter, you have one more additional topic, that is relation between or coefficients and type of roots. Coefficients and types of roots. So what is the formula for finding the roots of a quadratic equation? We have minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Here we call this b square minus 4ac as discriminant. This is the discriminant. So what is discriminant? It is b square minus 4ac. Okay. So based on this discriminant's value, nature of the roots varies. So nature of the roots are of three types. Okay. Nature of the roots are of three types. So the first one is when discriminant is greater than 0. Okay. So when discriminant is greater than 0, and then we have discriminant equal to 0, and then we have discriminant less than 0, means negative numbers. So when discriminant is greater than 0 means square root of positive number, and square root of positive number exists if discriminant is greater than 0, and if it is a perfect square, then the roots are real and distinct. Distinct means unequal roots. Like in our first example, we had the roots as -2 and -5, right? Those are real numbers and those are different numbers. So roots are real and distinct when the discriminant is greater than 0. So this is the first result. Further, if this number is a perfect square, then you get a rational roots, and if the number is not a perfect square, then you will get irrational roots. So if D is a perfect square, then roots will be rational numbers. Otherwise, roots will be irrational. So irrational in the sense you will have square root of 31, square root of 18, these kind of numbers. Basically you will not have square root of 18, it's going to be like square root of 9 into 2, and that gets reduced to square root of 2. So if you have roots, then those are called as irrational roots. If it is a perfect square like square root of 36, square root of 25, then the root gets cancelled. So if it's a positive number, you're going to get real and distinct roots. If that number is a perfect square as well, then your roots are going to be rational also. If it is not a perfect square, then it's going to be irrational root. Suppose the discriminant is equal to 0, then roots are real and equal. means you don't get two different numbers, you're going to get one answer only, and that itself you will have to write it twice. So that is roots are real and equal, means square root of 0, which is going to be 0. So you don't have plus and minus different values. So next is discriminant less than 0. It means square root of negative number, and we know that square root does not exist for negative number. Therefore, this number doesn't exist. Right? Square root of a negative number doesn't exist, but we imagine that it exists by considering square root of minus 1 as I. So if we get square root of minus 4, we are going to write it as square root of 4 into minus 1. Square root of 4 is 2, and this minus 1 is taken as I. I is equal to root minus 1. I am sure all of you have already learnt this as complex numbers. Okay, so these are imaginary numbers or complex numbers. So roots are imaginary roots. Imaginary, or you can also write roots are complex. Basically, you should be writing roots are imaginary. Okay, so these are nature of roots based on the discriminant. Now here the questions you might get under quadratic equations is, they might give you an equation, ask you to find roots of that equation. So suppose you have x square minus 4x plus 3 equals to 0. Then you will have to factorize it. So to factorize, you multiply 1 into 3, which is 3. Split them into two numbers such that product is 3 and the sum is minus 4. So you have minus 1 and minus 3, where you multiply you get plus 3, if you add you get minus 4. So what are the factors? You have to just split minus 4x as minus 1x and minus 3x. Then take common factor. You get x minus 1 minus 3 into x minus 1. Again take common factor. We get x minus 1 into x minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore, x equals to 1 or x equals to 3 is going to be the answer. This is factorization method. And you might have a question wherein you cannot find the answer. So it's going to be something like minus 5x plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, so here you cannot factorize them. Factors of 2 are only 1 into 2, nothing else. And you cannot add, by adding those two numbers you're going to get 3 as the answer, but you're never going to get minus 5. So we have to use formula here. X is equal to minus b. B is already minus 5, so minus of minus b plus or minus root of b square is 25 minus 4 into a into c. 4 into 2 is 8 divided by 2 into 1. So you will get 5 plus or minus root of 17 by 2. So here you see this is greater than 0, but it is not a perfect square. So we are now going to get irrational roots. What are irrational roots here? Therefore, roots are 5 plus root 17 by 2 and 5 minus root 17 by 2. And these are the types of questions. Basically, these are the types of questions that you can expect. These are straightforward questions. Sometimes they might ask you if roots are 3 and minus 5, what is a quadratic equation? Again, use the same procedure, that is x square minus sum of the roots into x plus product of the roots equals to 0. So this is going to be the quadratic equation. If they give you roots and ask you to find the equation, this is procedure you are going to use. Sometimes they'll give you an equation where something like this, x square minus 4x plus k equals to 0. Find the value of k if roots are what we had here, roots are 1 and 3. Okay, find k if roots are 1 and 3. This is another kind of question. So if roots are 1 and 3, You know how to find the answer. So just take this sum and product. So what is sum? Sum is sum of the roots, right? 1 plus 3, alpha plus beta, which is equal to minus b by a. Okay, so that we don't require here because k is not known, so we can choose k. So directly take product of the roots. What is product of the roots? C by a, right? C by a in the sense k by 1, and that is equal to product of the roots, which is 1 into 3. So k is 3. So this is another type of questions that you might get under this chapter. So hope this is clear. We have learnt both polynomials and the quadratic equations together. Here, what are the things that you need to note down is you have to note down these things. So we have learned many topics here. We have jumbled the topics of polynomials and quadratic equations. There are topics that are common to both, and there are topics that are specific to each chapter. So what are the common topics? You know, the degree is common. So common topics to both polynomials and quadratic equations is what is degree of the equation, and then you have relation between roots or zeros and coefficients. This is same for both, and when roots are given, how to find the polynomial or the equation, that is same. So what is unique or what is different is under polynomials you have cubic equations also. Okay, under polynomials you have cubic equations, that is different. Okay, that is specific to polynomials. Under quadratic equations you have nature of roots based on that discriminant we have written, right? Discriminant greater than 0, less than 0 and all that. So that is nature of roots, that is specific to quadratic equations. All the remaining topics are common for both polynomials as well as quadratic equations. So all the topics are discussed in this class, and we will be sharing the notes also with you in the WhatsApp group. Tonight we will be sharing the notes and also the practice questions. So we suggest you to go through this video completely. If you have not understood, please watch the video again and then practice all the questions that are given in the notes that in your WhatsApp group. In case you are still not at part of the WhatsApp group, then please please go through the link that is present in the description and you can join our WhatsApp group to get the notes regularly. We are going to conduct live sessions once every week. If we get good response from students, if we get good number of subscribers and more number of views, then we don't mind even doing 2 sessions per week. So our only motto is, our only goal is to make sure that you can attend your exam with confidence. So if you have any suggestions, any feedback, you are always welcome to approach us. You can either text us in WhatsApp, or you can also put a comment below this video. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that when we announce our next class, you will be able to know immediately. Okay, see you all in the next class. Until then, happy learning. Bye bye.